Hello. Hi. I hope you're doing well. Today is a rainy day right now. Just waiting for something I gotta do. But in the meantime, I was just, meditating in the rain and just having a nice conversation with Spirit. And he was like, just press record. So today he woke me up this morning, and it's kind of hectic, but this morning he was like, racism is violence. He said that any action done through someone being racist is a diabolical, demonic energy, that it does have consequences. He kept saying that today. Also, I feel like Spirit's, sad. I don't know if you seem like a lot of us, we turn off the news and stuff like that, but we see it popping out anywhere, right? Like, for me, this screams desperation. Is because you cannot longer continue your toxic narrative, right? So they're desperate. They're trying to humiliate this person who literally, he took a person who killed a lot of people sitting on a desk because he's white and has money, right? And he has that position and power to do that through insurance company. And he killed a lot of people in the quiet. So the government villains are letting us know that someone who does it, a white person specifically, who they endorse and, allow this person to literally still corrupt and all that kind of shit. Also, this guy has a lot of dirty secrets. This fucking Thompson, whatever his name is. I don't give a fuck. But we're trying to shame the guy who took that psychopath out of this face of the earth. Because I know for a fact the way that this guy did it, putting Monopoly in a backpack, that's definitely God. And that's how it's going to be. But he's literally showing you guys what the system will do to someone who's trying to be justice. Because that's justice. Not that. No. Why aren't we not shaming and talking about the CEO who murdered a lot of people through his insurance company? Why are we not shaming that guy? Oh no, he's dead. Also, killing is wrong, right? Killing is wrong, stealing is wrong, right? Oh, right. Now you're letting me know that only when you guys do it, it's allowed, right? Only when you, motherfucker, psychopath, fucking thirsty, bloodthirsty, and nonstop violence, because that's what capitalism is. Capitalism, the root of capitalism is colonial, racist, white supremacists, and obviously now we know because racism and Zionism is this fucking same thing. It's not a religion. I don't give a fuck what anybody has to say. And the way that you'll know is go study Judaism. Go study Palestine. Go do the right research. And you will know for a fact, like nobody can tell you bullshit. And this is the narrative that they are desperate for you guys. Also, this desperation, like, look, we'll keep you safe from the bad guy who killed this guy. That doesn't work no more. It doesn't work. I feel like we're watching like a clown who told all his jokes and his jokes are not funny anymore. This is what that feels like. A fucking clown, bunch of clown pigs with money, trying to control and manipulate people. And when they can't do it in the physical, they do weird ass shit in the background, right? One of the things that helps them is the media propaganda that they do, literally disgracing and humiliating this person, right? While all the population, people who are oppressed, who had to deal with that CEO insurance person, and I'm sure a lot of y'all, most insurance CEOs are like this motherfucker, right? A lot of people have died in the hands of these people, but just because it's behind a desk, just because it's through paperwork and stuff like that, then it's okay for him, right? It's okay for him to do it. Also, he's white, right? Let's not forget that. Let that sink in. And then the hypocrisy, I love how God, like, I love it. Because he's showing you the hypocrisy. At the same time, the white guy who literally killed, like, this person was a homeless guy. Everybody knows him. Everybody knows this guy. Because he was getting traction. People were recording him and stuff in the metro. I know, I heard about it. I think I saw him when I went to visit my aunt in New York, in Manhattan. He was famous for, he will imitate Michael Jackson to the T. He was happy, joyful, and yeah, he would tell people that he will have like a little thing to put money, but he wouldn't ask for people. Like, people would just give it because he was that good. And he was happy and free. Didn't have a home, dealing with poverty. And I hate that the fact that the media and everybody frames this guy as like, oh, he had a mental health episode. That's why this white guy attacked him. No, this guy, a rich motherfucker who mommy and daddy pay for everything, who never had to struggle in their fucking life. That guy was jealous. Fucking jealous and envious of a homeless guy who has more talent and more care and more heart than that motherfucker. And you know what he did? He killed him in front of everybody. There's videos about it. Doesn't it sound familiar? We have videos and evidence of multiple people and we know the murders, we know the psychopath, and we're still to this day, 14 months later, we're still justifying. This guy's a murderer. These people are murderers. These people are psychopath murderers. They're doing it right now. Getting consent and stuff like that from all of y'all, from accepting their media propaganda. This guy, he's free. Yeah. Literally at the same time, they're trying to convict a guy who literally took away a psychopath, because that's just what it is. But the guy who killed a bunch of innocent people, oh, you cannot take justice. You cannot. Well, how are we supposed to get justice if the fucking justice system doesn't do it? Like, literally, he got free. Look at him, partying with his two Zionist lawyers. Fucking billionaires motherfuckers. Well, this guy, his son was murdered. Where's his justice? Why? Because he's black? Because he's black. Right? Oh no, it's okay, he's black. He was a homeless guy anyways. It's fine. This is what the justice system said. Like, this is what they're saying. This is what they're saying. And this is what God is asking you. Racism has a cost. Yeah. Let that sink in too. Start decolonization. You want to be on the good side of history and the good side of God? Because a lot of shit is going to happen. And it's not for the oppressed. They're desperate. All their fucking shit is crumbling. They're scared. They're trying to get any type of lights right now, trying to cover it up nonstop. They've been spending, you remember the trillions that they lost last year? And this year, they're going to spend even more now. But they need to steal it from other people. Pay attention when, now these companies are charging you extra for bullshit. Pay attention. Yeah, phone companies, banks, there's extra fees somewhere. Yeah. Constantly telling you don't boycott. Oh, by the way, today it's an app day, so let me promote, because my favorite app, it's No Thanks app. Oh yes, go check out No Thanks app. Yes, I'm not getting anything, but I just love this app because today is app day, right? So my favorite is No Thanks because it's the perfect one. They can actually allow me to take my power back. It allows me to not take dirty ass, blood, disgusting, diabolical, karmic debt financially from capitalist billionaires in their corporation, disgusting companies. Yeah, that's what BDS movement is. Join us. Come on. Start boycotting. It's the best. Not only it heals your financial poverty, the curse that they've been trying to give to us, because they have it. They have it. Capitalism is what allows them to keep passing it, projecting it to the oppressed, to the people that they think that they're beneath them. Get to the program. Wake the fuck up. It shouldn't be a system like that. Nobody's better than anybody. Whites are not better. We are all the same. Equality. No thanks. Give you that. Because it pissed them off.
How dare you two try to take away money? They're like this. We're like this when you boycott. They're like, this is my billionaire corporation, and this is you, okay? Oh no, actually, this is you. You're right here. No, you're right low here. So when you start boycotting, oh, you see how that happens? But it's nice. Like, see how slowly I did it? See how slow? Because it's a slow process. It's not something gonna happen right away. But imagine 8 billion people boycotting all these diabolical corporations. We just say, fuck no. We will not put our tax money, our money for genocide. Can you imagine the world, how the world will be? Also, if we don't have billionaires and we divest all of that money out and then we spread it, we will save so many. We'll eradicate homelessness. Just think about it. We will no more poverty, no more famine, induced famine, because there's no need for famine. There's plenty resources for everybody, but there's no more of that. Just imagine, start thinking about this. God needs you to do this. And to remember that today he woke me up with that. I need you to, like, I'm going to put it, he said, racism is violence and it's a diabolical entity that is ancient. Right? And it has evolved, it has spread like vines, right? A lot of you watch Stranger Things, right? So it's like vines. A lot of you need to be 11s. We need a lot of 11s here. A lot of 11s. And then we need those people who protect 11s. If you haven't watched Stranger Things, I'm not promoting it because also, obviously, motherfucking shit, they're we're not doing Netflix right now, but if you saw it before all this shit happened, it's like a documentary for a lot of us, but anyways. But that's it. That's how they do it. They put all the stuff that you can overcome them as a joke for entertainment for y'all. And making you believe that you will never succeed. I mean, you don't play fair. You weaken everybody else. You don't play fair. They don't play fair. They don't. Right? So let's keep that in mind. That at the end of the day, we are the civilized people who care about humanity, who don't want useless fucking wars for a percentage of psychopaths, psychos, and fucking mentally deranged, okay? With money. That's about it. Which most of them are literally, it's like, everybody's like, oh, they will never take accountability. No, my friend. God has a special fucking place before they leave this earth. All of them. They're going to experience Alzheimer's. They're going to experience dementia. They're going to shit on their fucking pants every fucking day. Glory be to God in the name of Jesus, and so it is. They're going to experience every fucking internal body disgusting shit that will ever experience torture. Also, the torture and tormentation and embarrassment, which is the worst fucking thing for narcissists, is that the entire world can see right through you. The entire world is awakened. And you can no longer lie or manipulate and control people. That is their worst nightmare. It's gonna happen. It already is happening. This is what they're desperate. They're trying to humiliate this person. But they can. But I need you guys to talk about this CEO though. I need you to do more research. Let's start doing that. Let's start digging in more deeper. Let's look at all the insurance and all the CEOs, what they have done. Oh no, we can't do that because they deleted the pages. They deleted, yeah, because they knew exactly what you're gonna do. Of course. But after they deleted all the CEOs and all that stuff, they went ahead, right? And they say, okay, no, let's humiliate this guy so we can change the mind of people and make them think that they're safe with us, that everything is fine, that we're not really, like, we're the good guys, we're not really doing genocide. What happened in Congo and Sudan, like our phones, it's like literally Congo made, right? Child slave labor. Oh, Apple and Google. Wow. Yeah. And we're supposed to swallow that bullshit, right? Be smart. Like these people are dumbasses, so they think that we are. But at the end of the day, we're smarter. They're just smarter with violence and toxic and corruption and stealing and diabolical shit that they do in the spiritual, by the way, because that's what their first go is. Yeah. What do you think they maintain all of this? How do you think they maintain it? They have to do evil shit in the background to maintain it. Sacrifices, massacres. Iran and Afghanistan before that. And it was a lie. 9/11 was planned by the Israel IOF. These motherfuckers. What do you think that 9/11, these people were happy in Israel? They were happy about it. Think. Why would anybody be happy when people are being murdered and literally butchered, children and stuff like that, non-stop? Non-stop. There's videos and stuff like that non-stop. Who will be happy about that? A psychopath. Or sometimes even unconscious psychopath, because some people are just like so fucking programmed in the range and completely like they don't know what the fuck. They trust so much these people in power who are literally stealing from them and taking from them, from all of y'all, everybody. Capitalism is literally justifying stealing, killing, genocide, colonialism, racism. And this is what we're telling you, that needs to be anti-capitalism, anti-colonial, decolonization needs to happen. We need to build different systems. Socialism is beautiful, communism, like we need to, it has to be for the people or nothing. There has to be equality, equity, circular economy, sustainable or nothing. Don't settle for breadcrumbs.
While we're still on the topic of Syria, just a friendly reminder that atrocity denial has never put anyone on the right side of history. Not once. I can't think of a single time when that was a good idea. You know, the only exception is when you have zero proof of these claims, like 40 beheaded babies, for example, or rape allegations, or when a white woman accuses a black kid of catcalling her or raping her so that she can get him killed. You know, shit like that. But when you have thousands, countless of accounts detailing torture, abductions, murders, mass graves, unjust imprisonment. I mean, so much evidence of this. When you have so much evidence from real people, from people who have actually lived it, from journalists, when you have footage, you know, you may not want to believe it because it doesn't fit your political narrative, but you may want to reconsider going down that path of atrocity denial. It's not going to end well for you. And frankly, it makes you look very embarrassing. You know, I think some of you may need that reminder. That's all.
Their thing that they're doing, the spectacular that they're doing on media and the humiliation and humiliating this person, it doesn't work. Because at the end of the day, we see this person as the right person, the righteous, a person who resists a psychopath murder. But he just does it in a quiet, converted, silent, in an office. While other people sit in an office, right, and tell people don't be violent and stuff like that. But they send the little minions, the little army, the little police, the little shit to do the dirty work for them. They pay them to do their dirty work for them so that you don't look at them as the bad guys. No, but look, army and cops, the cops, look, they... Oh, IRF, military, they're doing... But who's paying it? Who's funding it? Who's giving them the permission to kill? Who's giving that authorization? I don't give a fuck with the terrorists and bullshit. That's bullshit. Because at the end of the day, you're talking about yourself. Governments, politicians, and fucking billionaires, when they tell you they're terrorists, blah, 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 they're talking about themselves. Pay attention. They are the only one who can afford this type of weaponry. Do not let them fool you. They're fucking racist and psychopaths too. So that's what I say, and we all say, racism should be illegal. Watch how a lot of things will change. Just watch. If racism was legal, to be racist towards a person of color, and I don't give a fuck what, don't go, don't go, oh, but black people can be racist. No, that doesn't exist. Colonialism, it's white people's shit. Yeah. You need to earn that. A lot of people are literally like taking responsibility. Yeah, my colonizers, my ancestors did this to people of color, and it stops with me. I heal, I work on myself because it stops with me. No longer in my name, no longer in my legacy, no longer on my karmic debt. Because a lot of you white people, you don't get it. Your karmic debt, it's way bigger than fucking people of color. Think about that. And the more evil, the more racist, the more stuff, the devil really has a great time with y'all. White supremacy is a fucking playground for him. And God keeps telling you, stop being racist. You're fueling them. You're fueling that fucking beast. Which most of y'all, it's already in within you. You just have to learn how to take it out. Start with being anti-racist. Do the work. Watch how nobody can control you, manipulate you anymore. Watch. And that's when the real war starts. A lot of you're too comfortable, like, no. But yeah, that's what it is. Because that's when spiritual warfare starts. Because the devil can no longer have a hold on you. That's what it is. Most people stuck in addiction, stuck in conforming, and in ignorant and complicit of genocide. God is like, okay, you're accepting that? Because it's a free will. You're choosing those things. Like, okay, I'll just keep your soul. Like, I'll keep your soul because it's more valuable in your heart. For God, that's all he cares about, is your heart. And your soul, well, he has a special place for it when you do evil shit. So, our time is limited here. It's not really... So, our job is to do good things, be kind, and resist colonization. Resist this fucking bullshit, because it's not... That's what we're here for. We're here to change those things. And we need all of it. Everyone on deck. Everyone. This guy should not feel that he's alone. This guy, the dad, should not feel that he's alone. They're not. These two people are us. All of us dealing with bullshit. And I'm glad that a lot of white people are realizing this. So continue the work. Your voice, because you're privileged, you know what you got to do. So do it. Continue doing it. But please try not to jeopardize other people in the resistance in the same community and same unity as you, okay? Because that just jeopardizes everything, and that's what they're trying to do. You guys need to learn the colonizers playbook and play it better than them, okay? For real. I love you. I didn't want this to be like, but it's just, it has to be, because a lot of you think that resistance is this happy-go-lucky positive thing, while the colonizers are literally tearing everyone's lives apart. Murder and killing, blackmailing, threats, email threats, comment threats. They pay people to attack, to harass people, to bully people, and then pay people in the background to attack them in spiritual shit. Especially when they know that you're a threat to them. They know that you can tell the truth and people wake the fuck up. Yeah. They're real warriors of this planet. You're not gonna find them with billions and sitting in an office desk. Okay? Maybe some. Because they know how to avoid and get away from the system and stuff like that. But they have to. It's what it is. You have to play the game and play it better than them. Don't be stupid. And this guy, apparently, they found him in McDonald's. Like, why? Don't you know BDS? This is what happened. BDS keeps you safe. This guy literally went to McDonald's and they caught him. Oh, that's what they say. I don't know. Because I don't want to spread propaganda. I don't know what happened. I don't know how they found him. Man, this guy might not even be it. They might be framing this guy because they never found it. They needed to find someone, right? What if this guy is actually innocent? Did you ever thought of that? A lot of y'all? Thank you, Father God. In the name of Jesus, amen. Have you ever thought of that? That this guy could be just some guy that looked like the guy from the picture? That you just needed to find a guy that looked like that guy? And now they're just framing it because they just want this to be over, right? It's like, look, we catch the guy, so let's forget about it. See, we're the good guys. That's what they're doing. Meanwhile, they're destroying someone's life, which they do it all the time, like that the CEO was doing. That's what he was doing. He was destroying people's life nonstop, right? making money. Literally taking other people's livelihood and way to survive to keep it for himself, to make himself more richer. Banks do it all the time. All the corporations do it all the time. Your phone company, they do it all the time. Are you paying attention? Yeah. I love you guys. I hope you're doing amazing. Continue doing the work. I just have this feeling that this guy is innocent. Because that guy who did that, he was too smart. He was way too smart to just go to my dollar. But it was funny. Maybe he did. He's like, oh yeah, come find me where one of the most genocidal ones who literally are still funding and okay with genocide. McDonald's.
They didn't catch the killer, they have to sedate the people. They didn't catch the killer, they have to sedate the people. They didn't catch the killer, they have to sedate the people. I'm going to say something controversial. Your cognitive dissonance will deactivate your critical thinking the moment that you feel triggered. I am not trying to offend you, but offense can be a catalyst for change. So if you find yourself upset, just self-reflect. You need to tell me that a calculated killer that is making revolution and perform a work of art is sloppy enough to get caught with the weapon and the intention. Either he did get caught because he intended to get caught, which is still bad for business, or y'all didn't catch him and you need us to believe that you did. Being not skilled to get away and being sloppy enough to get caught doesn't make sense to me, especially with the background for who Luigi is supposed to be. This man is already loved by the people, which is bad for business. So they're going to have to demonize him. And remember, freedom from your oppressor is always going to be an act of violence that is going to be deemed immoral and illegal, so on and so forth. So they're going to paint him as red as they possibly can. And I think they're giving us a decoy. I think they're giving us somebody that's going to take the fall, somebody that they're going to make an example out of, because you also have to remember that the most potent weapon for control for the oppressor is the mind of the oppressed, and the narrative has gotten too far outside of their hands, so they have to create a new one. But there's only so many plots within literature, so everything that they're going to do is going to be pretty predictable with this. With that being said, he's still on the run and they don't want us to know, because if they were to tell us the truth that they hadn't caught him yet, people would believe that they could also get away with it, and they don't want people with that line of thinking. And there was something about telling people that he had been caught sent out a wave of disappointment, like, damn, it's over. And I saw Crutches and Spice video, and if y'all haven't seen it, y'all need to go check it out, because Amani is always on point. But if her theory about this being a collaborative effort is correct, like Luigi is actually Luigi, but the person that they have in custody as Luigi is not Luigi, just pretending to be Luigi, then they have a bigger problem on their hands, because now not only is there Luigi, the real one to look up to, the one that is inspiring the people, but also the one willing to take the fall for the sake of making sure the other one can keep furthering their work. There's too much inspiration, and too much inspiration for the people is what? A movement. It's already happened. The revolution will in fact be televised. It just won't be called a revolution.
Bad news for the McDonald's employee who turned in Luigi Mangione to the cops. The McDonald's employee, who was very enticed by the $60,000 reward for finding Luigi Mangione, called the cops but made one very big mistake. This is because in order to get the $60,000 reward, you had to call a dedicated hotline. But the McDonald's employee foolishly ended up calling 911 in order to turn in Luigi Mangione. And the police in America take stuff like this very seriously, so the McDonald's employee will probably not even end up getting the $60,000. But the karma for the McDonald's employee for turning in Luigi just keeps coming. People online have flooded the reviews of that specific McDonald's location in Pennsylvania with 1-star reviews. And the McDonald's employee will probably end up getting fired for their own safety from that location. For the McDonald's employee, hopefully you learned the lesson the hard way, that if you go and suck up to capitalists, they will not give you what you were owed through a technicality. You know, the same way in which the US insurance companies use technicalities all the time to deny coverage.
It looks like Pope Francis has an important message for the world. Really outdid himself with this one. He just revealed his nativity scene over the weekend on Saturday. And not only is baby Jesus on a manger that is covered in a keffiyeh, the traditional Palestinian symbol of identity and resistance, also the actual woodwork, the Holy Family in the nativity scene, they were carved out and created by Palestinian artists. The nativity scene also features the Star of Bethlehem, on which is carved in both Latin and Arabic the following words: "Glory to God in the highest, and on earth peace and goodwill to all." He presented 2 Palestinian children with the star. The decision to have the nativity scene be so infused with Palestinian culture, to me, signals that he's acknowledging that Jesus was a Palestinian Jew. He also called out the weapons manufacturing industry for profiting off death.
What's your favorite Israeli food?
This is a story about how Israel uses food to colonize Palestine. And it's all laid out right here, in this old Zionist cookbook from the 1930s. Dubbed the book that taught Europeans how to cook in Palestine, this is considered to be the first Jewish cookbook printed in Palestine before the establishment of the State of Israel.
To me, it read like a settler colonial manual using food.
That's Layla al-Haddad, a Palestinian chef and author from Gaza. We spoke to her about the connections between colonialism and food, because under settler colonial states like Israel, it's not just land that gets stolen, it's food too. In order to do this, the settlers needed to create a new identity with traditions that connected them to the land they were strangers in. One way they did that was through food.
Adopting and appropriating the food and the cuisine and the ingredients of the land of Palestine served a greater political purpose, which was to put quote-unquote roots in the ground.
In the 1930s, the Women's International Zionist Organization published How to Cook in Palestine, a cookbook designed to help European settler wives navigate their new environment. The book offers hundreds of recipes, successfully tested at the World Zionist School of Cooking, urging settlers to use ingredients peculiar to Palestine, like olive oil, mint, and local varieties of zucchini and okra. She argued that freeing our kitchens from European customs in favor of healthy Palestinian cooking was essential to acclimating to their old new homeland.
It just read to me like a very typical, sort of what would a colonizer say or advise if you were coming somewhere else to a country where you wanted to establish roots and make it your own and completely reject and erase and invisibilize, the local population.
So what does this all tell us? The appropriation of Palestinian cuisine served a dual purpose, constructing a new Israeli identity while erasing the indigenous one. This is food colonialism, where the dominant culture appropriates the food of the colonized in order to reinforce both its identity and power.
Israeli salad, yalla!
All the while erasing how the settlers came to know these dishes in the first place, through conquest, violence, domination, and theft.
These dishes existed long before the state of Israel existed, and so therefore it would make no sense to suddenly rebrand them overnight as Israeli. If a Jew of Arab origin from Tunisia or from Baghdad was making a particular dish, then I would argue that that dish is Tunisian in origin or North African in origin.
Over the decades, a long list of Palestinian and Middle Eastern ingredients and dishes have somehow become Israeli. This cultural appropriation of food can be seen in trendy restaurants from New York to Los Angeles. These restaurants profit off of the appropriation of Palestinian and Arab food while erasing its origins and the struggles of the people who created it.
What that does then is that it contributes to the oppression of the Palestinian people and furthers the colonizers' narrative.
For settler colonies like Israel, control over food supplies and resources means control over the land. Israeli policies have systematically confiscated Palestinian farmland, making it impossible for Palestinians to maintain their agricultural traditions. Olive trees, a symbol of Palestinian heritage and a staple of Palestinian food history, are constantly being uprooted to make way for Israeli settlements. While settlers poison and destroy Palestinian grapevines, they tend to their own thriving vineyards and wineries on stolen land. Then they export that wine and advertise it as Israeli. Israel has even restricted Palestinians from harvesting traditional wild herbs like za'atar and akub, only to then market those same herbs as part of Israeli cuisine. And in places like Gaza, control over food and resources has become just as essential to genocide as bombs and bulldozers. Israel's blockade of Gaza has led to widespread food insecurity and malnutrition, further weaponizing food in the ongoing war.
When food contributes to the oppression and erasure and colonization of a people, it's no longer a benign civil act. It suddenly becomes a weapon of war.
If they wanted to ban TikTok, they would have been banned TikTok. but they don't want to ban TikTok. They want TikTok. The stipulation is not on January 19th, we're going to ban TikTok. The stipulation is on January 19th, we're going to ban TikTok unless it's sold to an American company, because data is the new oil. Data is currency. Your data, my data, all of this data that we are constantly feeding these algorithms that make them better and better and make these companies richer and richer is so lucrative. We are living during an autonomous technological revolution, and AI as a technology is literally changing the way that we all live at an exponential rate. When we analyze technology from an economic perspective, like the cost reduction framework, the purpose of all technology, in principle, is to reduce the cost of doing something by making it easier to do something, keeping in mind that cost is not all financial. There are effort costs, time cost, labor costs, etc. The invention of computer technology was extremely innovative because it reduced the cost of doing arithmetic. Before computers, there were job positions held by human people called computers, most of which were women, by the way, who solved complex arithmetic by hand using their brains. As you can imagine, this made the cost of doing arithmetic, i.e. the cost of computing, expensive because it relied on extremely skilled, highly specialized labor that was hard to come by. And so by reducing the cost of computing, by making it possible for machines to calculate ones and zeros instead of relying on humans to do it, we create opportunities to do things that we've never done quicker and faster, like fly planes or cook food on a stovetop without fire. The invention of Google technology made search cheaper. Before Google, we had to go to the library, a physical location where there were librarians who operated catalogs and databases of information. And so the process of searching and discovery and gaining knowledge was expensive because it took a lot of effort, a lot of labor, a lot of time, a lot of money. And so Google made the process and the cost of search practically nothing, which enables us to make discoveries and execute things in our lives a lot quicker and a lot easier. And so AI technology reduces the cost of prediction. It makes prediction cheap. And this cost reduction framework has shown us that the cheaper something becomes, the more of it we can use and the more opportunity we can create to do things that we've never done before. And the cheaper predictions become, the more we can make predictions. And the more we can make predictions, the better we can predict. And the better that we can predict, the more accurately we can create knowledge. This is the whole premise of artificial intelligence. And good predictions rely on data, like a lot of data. The reason our For You pages are perfect and we're addicted to TikTok is not because the people at TikTok are geniuses. I mean, they are, but it's because we've given these algorithms so much data. We have liked enough videos, we've scrolled through enough videos and come back to enough videos. We have searched certain keywords after seeing other keywords in the comment sections that we interact with. We've given these algorithms so much data that they've been able to make so many predictions. And the predictions have gotten so good that it feels like the people at TikTok are living in the walls of our houses because we have made these algorithms so artificially intelligent that it feels like they know us. It's not them, it's you. And when people are like, I built my For You page from the ground up, you sure did. And the worst part is, you did it for free. As somebody who works in tech, I know all too well how these companies weasel their little clauses into the privacy policies that basically say, we're going to steal all your data. Yeah, we're going to steal all your data and you're going to consent to it. And we literally click accept. What does this have to do with the whole TikTok ban? Well, to be a leader in the AI space, you have to invest in data. Why invest in data when you can just get it for free? When people like us will literally hand our data, our most valuable currency in the digital age, over to these companies on a silver platter in exchange for our daily, hourly, minutely dopamine hit. They don't care about Americans' data privacy. They keep saying how dangerous it is for Chinese companies to have access to Americans' data. No, it's dangerous for US companies not to have this data, because it makes them vulnerable and poor. It's all about power and money. The more of our data that they can harness and the cheaper that they can do it, the richer that they become. Currently, most AI technology relies on assisted learning. It relies on feedback and data from humans to make accurate predictions. And the vision for AI technology is for it to be unassisted, for these algorithms to learn from themselves and not rely on any human feedback to get smarter and smarter. This is the whole discourse around AI getting too smart and taking over and blase, blase. But to even get to that point, it needs copious amounts of data. And where better to get that data than from the platform that has so much of it and for free. 170 million Americans use TikTok daily. And what's interesting about American data is that it's rich in the sense that the United States is so racially, culturally, ethnically, socioeconomically diverse that at times it can be a fairly good representative of the aggregate of the rest of the world, which is what makes this data in particular so lucrative. And so never mind the fact that we all love TikTok and we have so much fun and we express ourselves and we make money and we learn things, and there are parts of TikTok that unapologetically refute American propaganda. The US government isn't saying, we're going to ban TikTok because it's dangerous for it to be in the hands of the Chinese. They're saying, we want it. We want to be the ones to wield power over and make money off of our constituents, not you. And if that isn't greed, child, I don't know what is.
This is Rufina Amaya. She is the sole survivor of the Mozote massacre, which happened on December 11th, 1981. On that day, the U.S. trained and funded 𝓂𝆃Channel battalion of the Salvadoran Armed Forces descended into the village of El Mozote and the next 2 days the following villages nearby like La Joya, where they proceeded to separate the men, women, and children. They killed all the men, then all the women and girls. Then they killed the women. And then one of them said, faltan los cabrones. They're still the children because according to them, and this is their logic, if the children were left alive, they were future guerrilleros and so they had to be killed. They killed them in the most horrible ways. I will not describe it. They were all killed. During the struggle of everyone being separated, children being taken from their mothers, one mother was struggling and all the guards kind of moved forward to fight her. And at that moment, Rufina Amaya went down to her knees and crawled all the way to a nearby bush. And then she pulled down the branches and held them there for hours. And that's how she hid. While everything was going on, she had to hear her own husband and children be murdered. There's nothing she could do. If she gave away her position, she would have been killed too. Now at this time, her role was to share this atrocity with the world. So she escaped, she made her way out. And days later, the first minute that she can, she gives her testimony of this horrible war crime to Radio Venceremos, then to 2 American journalists. The whole time, the U.S. government, Ronald Reagan and his administration, call her a liar, although they knew what had happened. And the Salvadoran government also call her a liar, but she didn't stop sharing her testimony. This led to the UN investigation, which did find the mass graves later, the 90s. Turns out that at least 1,000 children, women, and men were all killed at El Mozote. And this history, it's important to learn and share because time and time again, we see the US funding and enacting and enabling and helping these crimes, these war crimes to take place.
If you don't think there's a correlation between the potential TikTok ban and Palestine, you are grossly mistaken. And since they might probably most definitely be banning the app in the US, I just want to come on here again and say that Israel does not have the right to exist. It should not exist. And it is a genocide. It should be a shock to literally no one in the Black Mirror hell that we are actually existing in that they would ban one of the only apps that is actually getting information out, that has Palestinians on the ground documenting, producing evidence every single day about what is happening. Like every single day creators come on this app, they report on what the US is doing, what Israel is doing, and it reaches millions. And now they're actually going through with banning it because they're losing the court of public opinion. We are 100% living in a Black Mirror techno hellscape genocide because what the fuck is this? They created a Spotify Wrapped of a genocide. We exist in the same timeline where they created a Spotify Wrapped of how many people they have killed. And they published this the same week that Amnesty International released a 300-400 page report on how it is a genocide and there is genocide intent. I haven't seen Keir Starmer mention the report once. I haven't seen the US even touch it. Amnesty fucking International says there's war crimes and it's a genocide. And at the same time, we have fucking Spotify rap from Israel. Because in all honesty, they are taking away TikTok because traditional media has been failing. I opened up Twitter the other day to see videos of them shooting children in wheelchairs. They use the little robot helicopter thing to shoot at children in wheelchairs waiting in a hospital courtyard, and that was uploaded and documented on Twitter. Despite all of the censorship and despite all of the algorithms, things are still getting out of Gaza. We need to keep talking about it even if this app gets taken down.
I feel sick knowing these filthy people have touched the cashews I've eaten. These people that get disfigured and burned hands. Shell cashews manually so that you can have your bag of cashew nuts. Did you also know that chocolate for Cadbury's and them is picked by kids? She looks young. What's that? Oh, palm oil, which is in everything. And if you think the workers who work on farms that supply supermarkets are working with a massive smile on their face and they're so happy to be picking these fruits and veggies for you, then you must be joking. That energy is also transferred into the food you eat. In your mind, you think it just looks like this. The same way that you don't care about the people that handle your products is the same way they walk all over your food. Most of you are forgetting that you are raised by people from the other side of the world. You rely on their hands to pick food for you so you can grow and so you can thrive. Show some gratitude. You eat the food that they pick for you. You are them and they are you. They've put in the hard work. Don't you know that you function off of what you have been munching? That is why the world is so fucked up. So if it's cashews shelled manually, show some gratitude. That's a dangerous job.
This is all poison and they knew it. A bombshell lawsuit has just been filed, basically naming every single big food company, and there's some pretty damning evidence in it. Before I get into the details, the first thing to understand is what we know today as big food was once legacy big tobacco. Because after people realized how bad cigarettes were for you and smoking dropped off a cliff, these guys had to figure out a different way to make money. In other words, a different substance to addict us, right? The Philip Morris Gulfstream isn't going to pay for itself. All right, let's dig into this lawsuit. Quote, Big Tobacco's conquest of the U.S. food environment was much more than a coincidental byproduct of diversification. Instead, as explained by Philip Morris's Director of Applied Research, the purpose of these acquisitions was for the big tobacco companies to, quote, control all of the pleasure drugs that are not regulated. So what did they do? They bought up all the big food companies and started turning foods into drugs. They started experimenting on people to see how our brains would react to certain ingredients or certain chemicals. It says here, for example, Dr. Frank Galata was a Philip Morris brain scientist who supervised a secret Philip Morris addiction laboratory in Germany. Galata's research included using electrodes on human scalps to understand the impact of nicotine consumption on the human brain. He became integrated into the company's food operations after the acquisition of General Foods and Kraft. I mean, these psychopaths literally embedded microchips into rats. They literally cut open their brains and embedded what they call brainwave computer systems. Oh, but that wasn't the end. They got to figure out who to sell this to. And they figured out it was going to be kids. The lawsuit alleges Big Tobacco repurposed marketing strategies designed to sell cigarettes to children and minorities and aggressively marketed ultra-processed foods to these groups. A Philip Morris executive boasted at a UFP industry conference, quote, we've decided to focus our marketing on kids where we know our strength is the greatest. And the worst part is they knowingly sacrificed the health of America's children in exchange for profit. It says here, in April 1999, the CEOs of America's largest ultra-processed food companies attended a secret meeting in Minneapolis to discuss the devastating public health consequences of ultra-processed foods and their conduct. At that meeting, a Kraft executive told the other CEOs in attendance that obesity was reaching epidemic proportions, especially among children, who are at higher risk of developing chronic diseases such as diabetes, heart disease, hypertension, and cancer. And that's exactly what happened in the last 25 years. Obesity exploded. Rates of diabetes through the roof. Chronic disease skyrocketing. Instead of listening to the science, they literally paid to be the science. Dietitians were paid by big food to push junk foods and anti-diet advice. They also paid off universities to influence the outcome of academic research. And this last example is outrageous. Companies like Coke literally colluded, worked with the NAACP to call parents who were concerned with their child's high sugar intake and smeared them as racist. I mean, these companies, these executives are basically committing treason against Americans by doing this. It's outrageous. And as I say, sunlight is the best disinfectant. So if you care about the health of children and the future of America, please share this message far and wide. Thank you.
Okay, let me rephrase that. What if they just needed to find any guy that looks like that person, and what if this person is not it, and they just need you guys to believe that, look, we keep you safe, look, we catch the bad guy who killed this white guy. They still haven't tell you guys, they haven't give you a whole detail of the CEO. No, oh, poor CEO, oh, poor him, oh, okay, what about the people that he murdered? No? What about those people? What about their families? What about them? No? Not the same sympathy? That's deliberately done. It's intentional that they do those things. Pay attention. They want you to care about a psychopath murder just like them, instead of actually caring for someone defending all of y'all from that psycho. It's like Jesus, literally. Like Jesus was sacrificed by the state. Jesus was against capitalism, Rome Empire. He was against all of that. What do they do to him? They embarrass him, they humiliate him, they prison him, they torture him, right? Beat him up in front of everybody, and then sacrifice him in front of everyone to see. And then when he was dead and all the shit that started happening, when he came back, right? No way he came back. No way. No. Because that will be the worst nightmare, right? That it turned out that he was really the Son of God. And ever since then, they've been trying to cover their tracks ever since. Ever since. And here go Jesus multiplying billions now. Giving you guys gifts. Clairvoyance, psychics. Discernment to the point that you can even understand. And a lot of you think it's like depression and stuff like that. No. No. Pay attention. Depression, suicide, and all of that comes from capitalism. It's not you doing. If you have everything you need, you don't need anything else. You'll be happy. You'll be satisfied, stable. You don't have to worry about anything. But then you have people who have everything, absolutely everything. That I don't understand. But hey, maybe they're dealing with some abusive situation that keep it repressed and stuff like that. We don't know. But there's people that have absolutely everything and they're depressed. They're sad, suicidal. I don't know. That's why I always wonder, like, if you've done good things in your life, you're not violent, or you're not haven't harmed anybody or try to harm anybody, you're kind, you have a good heart, you give, you care about other people, I don't think so. And all your bills are paid, you're satisfied, you're fed, you have a roof over your head. I don't think you would deal with mental health problems. I don't think so. This is where I like in my country, like some of this stuff, like they get confused, like, why do you mean? Why do you have that? Like, you know, I don't know, maybe it's in the past because I haven't lived in my country for a long time, but Dominican also, sorry, my country's not a good example, okay? Like, no, they're super racist towards Haitians. I know that. My mom always knew that. That's what she raised me anti-racist. Like, no, don't be like that. Don't do that. Don't be homophobic or all of that. Like, she will see it. She will, like, you know. It's a gift to have discernment. It's a gift to be intuitive. It's a gift to do things outside of the status quo. That's the gift. But a lot of you like, oh, that's horrible. That's a curse. I don't want to see that. I don't want to know. You need to see it. Because you're one of the puzzle pieces that needs to be there. So that you can help other people who are not in that puzzle piece. but they're stuck either being tortured, being abused, being used, being literally land theft. Everything that makes them sustainable, that keeps them happy, that gives them financial stability. Because that's what it is. Capitalism, it's land and financial looting, basically. Theft. For everyone. Even white people. Yeah. A lot of you think like you're going to be a billionaire just like them. No, they will make sure that you'll never rise up there. Oh, now they're giving you the illusion that you will. Oh no, wait, we have to look good now. So let me give some white people like the illusion that, okay, you're a little politician. Okay, you like look at like Elon Musk as one of, like Trump is like, he was broke before and now he's a president. So he's like super like, oh my God, I'm going to put Elon Musk because he's going to pay me. Right? This is how filthy and disgusting these people are. And you still think they are for the people. And that's the illusion. That's the false matrix that they have created. Oh, another thing. This is another thing that Father God gave me today. You know that a lot of people say like, oh, you know, that's their circumstances, things happen for them. Like a lot of people think that whatever bad happens to you in terms of like homelessness or dealing with stuff financially or stuff like that. Like some people, yeah, like they don't want to do anything. They don't want to work or none of that. But that's not the point. The point is that a lot of people think that when people go through a lot of injustices and a lot of oppression or financial instability or homelessness and stuff like that, that is their fault. That is because of them that they are where they're at. And because of themselves that they have, that's the individualism bullshit, okay? That takes you away from your humanity as well, okay? No, it's not. Homelessness is not because they decided the choices that they made to be in that situation. No, that's capitalism. Also, remember capitalism has multiple tentacle layers. So if that person is a person of color or indigenous, most likely they will be on the street more than someone who is non-color, right? A white person. Which here we see it a lot. There is a lot of elderly, a lot of people with disabilities of white race, absolutely. And they also deal with like alcohol, drugs, addiction and stuff like that. But the system keeps them like that because it allows the addiction to continue, right? We have a lot of things here like alcohol is poison, right? But hey, they sell it here, right? So it's legal. You can literally murder someone, like if you're like drinking alcohol and you drive, right? We know that, right? There's been a lot of they know that. Glorifying violence and killing and stuff like that, you need to watch out yourself when you do that. Because you're literally, yeah. I find that that's like demonic, to be honest. But it depends. Sometimes violence, it has to be happening, especially when someone is really intense, killing and murdering, violently butchering innocent people just because they get money from that. They're stealing from that. They get a joy, a kick out of it. Then the violence turns different. That's resistance. You have to resist an occupier. You have to resist a psychopath, a murderer, right? Or rapist, right? There's a lot of hypocrisy that most of the time is considered like, oh, that's conspiracy theory. Most of the time it's the truth. Because most of this going on here, they have to be hypocrites in order to maintain the system, in order to maintain capitalism. They have to constantly pathologically lie to you nonstop. And those who are awake, who are aware and see, it's a blessing. Continue sharing, continue exposing them. That is the kryptonite. Expose evil. Expose that. But you see, they're exposing evil, but it's not the right way. This guy, he's a hero. And they're making you guys believe that he's the bad guy. But the people who are putting him in prison are the real bad guys. Yeah, because he shouldn't be. We need to investigate the CEO. That's what it should be doing. That's justice. That's real cop and real justice right there. Okay, if this guy, but why? Wait, and then look at the records of the CEO. What's his record? What's going on here? Right? That's exactly what people are doing in the UN, Francesca. Wait, why is there multiple videos non-stop sharing for their own people of literally butchering their children, their family in front of them, burning them in a hospital, bombing hospitals, schools, and all of that, refugee camps, tents. And we're still making justification for that? Do you see how bad it is? The indoctrination, the programming, and literally conditioning? And a lot of you are like, oh yeah. Why? Because one day that you just find out, thanks to the resistance, which it turned out that they kill their own people? They provoke resistance? By before October 6th, there was so much shit happening before that? And then that was literally resistant retaliating, like defending themselves? Just something to think about. Think about things. Reflect. Don't believe whatever these motherfuckers are feeding to you. The media is bought by these psychos. That's why they're so threatened by regular people just like you. Like, I'm not a journalist. What? I'm not, but I'm educated. I can do a research like a motherfucker. I can find out shit like nobody's business. That's the threat. If you're smarter than them, like literally, you're a threat. So a lot of you just conform to be a dumbass, an asshole, racist, because you don't want to be smarter because you're supposed to be. So you're okay with them stealing from you. Okay. All right. That's your choice though. But don't think or don't complain or don't try to gaslight and bully other people who don't want to follow your fucking karmic train wheel. We're not going on that train. We're getting off that train. And we're going to build something else. Maybe a flying train that doesn't need tracks. Because when we do things with integrity and honesty, you don't need to track it. It will be just a smooth honesty line. Integrity, everything exposed, everything you need to know. Accountability, because this system, oof, accountability, not at all. But if we have a system that builds accountability with, as it says, foundation, integrity, and loyalty, and trust, okay? No lying. Can you imagine if we could build a better place? Also, not doing unethical things that can harm our planet and people. Can you imagine what a beautiful place that will be? It's not something to imagine. It exists. We just need to get rid of the people who are preventing us from getting to that goal. Okay? Or at least hold them accountable. Or do what we got to do by any means necessary. Just like them, right? But be smarter. Be smarter. Free Congo, free Sudan, free all the other countries that are dealing with this fucking bullshit. And let's build something better. One day at a time. Because we cannot do this all in one shot, obviously. But pay attention. Continue exposing them. Expose the news, the fake-ass news. Expose them. Have fun with it. Okay? Yes. You can have fun. You're supposed to. It's your right. Do not let them take your human rights from you. Just like they've been trying to do to other people. And that's our job, to get their human rights back. It's not okay but just we have our rights, but they don't have it, that's okay. No. No. Don't let them pass the karmic financial debt. It's a curse. They are all cursed. They're just passing it to you to capitalism. You want to continue that? Okay. I'm not. So anybody in my community, if you're down for that, let's go. Let's get the fuck out of this fucking karmic ass plane. This fucking train that goes fucking nowhere. It goes to the butcher house. That's really it. While they take from you, take your family, take your legacy, take your gifts, take everything from you. And they get more money, richer. Oh, by the way, very soon they're not going to be doing that anymore because the planet's going to shit. They're destroying our planet too to make more money. So you think that genocide is not actually possible? Let's look at what they're doing to our planet. If you don't believe in that, right? A lot of y'all, you're in the Lulu land and ignorance. Okay, so can you do yourself a favor and see how these oil companies and these billionaires are destroying your planet, your food, full of pesticides and cancer nonstop? A lot of you think the medical system is a business. Yeah, conspiracy theory, right? Something that they made up. So people like us to tell you the truth, you don't listen to us. But you listen to them, right? Good luck with that. I love you guys. Have fun and fuck capitalism and fuck billionaires and politicians and government. Fuck you.
Wake up, it's a long night, darling. Wake up, it's the brightest sky. Oh, love, it's a dark night, darling. Hold on to me for dear.